I'm Davy, and I'm awesome! And welcome to Davy's Awesome Movies, where I review the styles of movies I love, the alternative B-rated cult style flicks. And last week, I finished up the Silent Night, Deadly Night series, so I figured this week, let's get the remake out of the way. This one was made in 2012, and it was directed by Stephen C. Miller, and written by Jason Rothwell, of course based on the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, written by Charles E. Sellier Jr. Produced by Sarah Kay, Phyllis Lang, Richard Saperstein, and Brian Whitten. Made by Buffalo Gal Pictures, Media House Capital, Genre Company, Insidious Pictures, and Empire Film and Entertainment Group, and distributed by Anchor Bay Films. Ladies and gentlemen, the remake to the classic Silent Night, Deadly Night. Silent Night. Now I know a lot of you are like, didn't they just release a Silent Night movie? It's completely different and has nothing to do with any of these movies. It just has the same title. The movie opens with a killer Santa going into a basement where one of his victims are tied to a chair in Christmas lights.
Just let me go, okay?
Okay.
Because I didn't know she was married.
Well, you know now, and I don't think he cares either way. The man in the chair realizes, though, that this is not the victim upstairs' his husband. And he's shocked. Then we go to the film's lead, Audrey Bradamore, played by Jamie King, making this the third horror film remake that she's been in.
Hello?
Up and at 'em, deputy.
Sheriff?
She's a cop. She's being called in because the deputy that was supposed to cover her shift so she didn't have to work on Christmas Eve is MIA. But she makes a plea to her boss, Sheriff Cooper, not to make her come in because it's just really tough on her, it being Christmas and her husband having died earlier this year.
Okay, well, I'll look forward to seeing you.
Sheriff Cooper doesn't care. Why? Because he's too busy being played by Malcolm McDonald! By the way, this is his second horror film remake ever. And funny enough, both of those remakes based on holidays. And then we go see some townspeople. Even go to the house of a mother who's about to take some heart pills.
What are you doing, honey?
Hell no!
You need to take me to the mall.
Hell no! I'm over here hurting just thinking about how hard my mom would have slapped me.
Go get your purse and meet me in the car.
Yes, the purse. My mother would have beaten me with that purse. The 14-year-old girl hears a ring at the door. Yeah! What? I know, even though she was a jerk, she was only 14, but let's just get this straight. If he would have let her live, in a few years, she'd be asking to talk to your manager. Back at the station, they get a phone call about a Santa who's actually upsetting some kids. And being that this is a really small town, they decide to go and check it out.
That's right. Never trust your parents.
That's Santa Jim, played by Donald Logue. Great actor. Aubrey is there to warn him that if he doesn't stop the shenanigans, she's going to revoke his Santa permit.
Ooh, now I'm scared.
I didn't know that was a thing. Aubrey then gets a call about an abandoned house that has a very bad smell coming from it. She asks why Deputy Giles can't get the call, and it turns out because he's busy filling out a missing persons report on a husband looking for his wife.
I think she left him for Deputy Jordan.
So she goes to check it out and... Wait, oh! I see! The guy in the beginning who was with a wife they didn't know was a wife, that was the deputy that was supposed to cover her shift! I am on it! Then, in a nod to the original, we see a teenager visiting his invalid grandfather.
You better watch out, boy.
Oh! Yes! Yes!
You see Santa Claus tonight, boy, you better run. Run for your life.
Well, that was fun. Aubrey goes to the house and finds Deputy Jordan. Okay, I know it's gross, but aren't you a cop? She calls for backup and they tell her to wait for it to get there, but she decides to go looking through the house anyways. And she finds the wife. Then the sheriff shows up and he's a little perturbed that she did not wait for him.
So don't go playing the hero. That's my job.
I don't know, personally I think you play the villain a lot better. Yeah. Then we go to a hotel where there's a couple filming some adult content with an amateur model. At least until they get a knock at the door. Yeah! And Now the guy, Frank, gets it right in his... As far as the adult actress, I can't really show you much because she's topless in this entire scene. I can just tell you some and show you very little. Basically, she gets out of the hotel, she runs and runs in nothing but her underwear into a Christmas tree field. Then she hears a wood chipper get turned on, and curious, she goes towards it. Not what I would do. Santa surprises her. Now that she can't run, he picks her up. She's not that chipper. From a camera that was left on during that hotel killing, the police look through it and find that it was a killer Santa they're looking for. However, that doesn't really help them because there's a Santa parade going on that night. Aubrey finds a suspect though, Stein Carson. He's in a Santa suit, he lives at that hotel where the killing took place, and he's a known criminal. Stein tells her a story about a guy who went crazy because his wife left him for another man, so he put on a Santa suit and went to a Christmas party that she was at and just started killing everybody.
But he had no mercy for sinners.
This part of the story was actually based on a real-life incident, the Covina Massacre. That happened on Christmas Eve in 2008. 9 people were killed at a Christmas party, including the ex-wife of the killer, who then killed himself. As far as in the movie, Carson tells her that this happens every year in a new town now.
Everyone knows that story. It's an urban legend.
Then Stein, picking up that Aubrey is there for him, because he is a drug dealer, runs off. So Aubrey chases him. And just as he's about to finish her off, Alex to the rescue!
Are you hurt?
Hey, they never say Sheriff Cooper's first name, so let's just go with it's Alex. Upset, Aubrey calls her father, who himself is a retired cop.
This isn't the first time a Bradamore had to bring down a bad Santa.
Aubrey then goes to Sheriff Cooper about a feeling she has that Carson is not the actual killer.
Don't put avocado on the burger.
What?
Simple is always best.
Oh, okay. I get the metaphor. Simple answer is usually the right one, but it's a bad metaphor because avocados on burgers is delicious. But Aubrey does make some valid points, like that he's just simply a drug dealer, not to mention the teen girl and the adulterous wife would mean absolutely nothing to him. So what's the motive?
There you go again. Now you're piling hummus on top of the burger too.
Okay, as gross as hummus on a burger sounds, will you please stop with the metaphors? You're making me want a burger. So Sheriff Cooper calls the mayor.
Reason to believe that we have a serial killer at...
He knows, dude. Killer Santa uses the mayor's daughter, Tiffany, as yet another nod to the original film. And the guy she was having premarital sex with... Your grandpa warned you. And then another nod. That's it? A candy cane? At least in the original movie, the little girl got a box cutter. You could have hours of fun with that. Aubrey goes to Sheriff Cooper with a different suspect. Somebody that's not only unpleasant and Santa-dressed, but a few years ago he was around another killing that happened on Christmas Eve.
Because it's that time of the year, Sheriff! Yeah!
Santa Jim.
Where's my figgy pudding?
You know, who even eats figgy pudding? The best I can do for you, dude, is I got some figgy Newtons.
But whatever it is that you guys think I did, I most certainly did not.
Aubrey goes to the hotel to arrest Carson because he is still a suspect, but he's got a gun. Nice shot! At the station, Gills is about to go home, but first he has to take out the trash.
What is this? Garbage day?
Okay, that nod I don't like. Either do the garbage day part right or don't do it at all. Deputy Gills sees a strange car in the parking lot. Axing Day! At the crime scene, Aubrey noticed that in Carson's hotel room, he had gotten a package, a red and white wrapped gift. The same one that her father had gotten. Same one she'd seen many times throughout that day at other places. All of them victims. Even Cooper got one.
A lump of coal?
For those who have been naughty. That's hot. And like I said, she realized her dad also got one, so Aubrey goes home to check on him. Okay, I think it's safe to say next year Aubrey's celebrating Hanukkah. But Aubrey's mom is okay.
That monster! No!
Sort of. I mean, granted, her husband just was killed, so she's hysterical. But after Aubrey makes sure that she's not harmed, she says she's going back to the station to get the killer Santa.
It's not safe!
She's a cop. Now to Santa Jim.
Plastic bags!
Not nice.
Yeah, it's not going to end well for you, buddy. Christmas brass knuckles? Is that really a thing? No. Aubrey makes it back to the station.
My father was a good man!
So was Cooper. I mean, he was kind of a jerk, but ultimately he wasn't a bad guy. Ooh, an axe fight! She gets to the flamethrower. But now Aubrey needs to go get the dispatcher Brenda and get her out of the building that is now on fire. And once they're safely out of the building, Santa is gone! Then we see Killer Santa sitting in his truck. And then he starts reminiscing about the massacre that Stein had talked about. It's revealed the cop that shot him was Aubrey's dad. And it's also revealed the Killer Santa was that killer's son. How were we supposed to guess that? So there you have it, that's the remake to Silent Night, Deadly Night, Silent Night. The movie did underperform in the box office, where it had a meager $5 million budget, but only did $114,000. However, since its release, because of the cult following and DVD sales and stuff, I'm sure at this point it's made its money back. As far as remakes go, it wasn't terrible. Definitely not one of the worst remakes I've seen. And for the most part, it did get favorable reviews, but let's face it, it's not as good or as inspired as the original. In the original, even though the acting was bad and the effects were cheesy because it was very low budget, it had a very compelling story and told very well of a poor kid who had witnessed an atrocity and then instead of being comforted was abused, grows up and just loses it during Christmas. Being taught about being naughty or nice and then basically starts killing everybody who's naughty. And this one kind of had the same theme. He was killing people that were on his naughty list, but the problem with this one is a lot of the people on his naughty list really shouldn't have been there. Like, yes, I get that that one cop killed your dad, but your dad shouldn't have been setting people on fire. So this movie did kind of give me the impression that he was more just on a killing spree than being on an ill-conceived notion that he was doing right when he was really doing wrong. However, in this remake, I will say I did like all the nods to the original one. The invalid grandfather, the putting the girl on the antlers. Even another nod that was in this movie was that it was set in Wisconsin because when the original movie came out and it had the controversy it had, it was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin that they were picketing and protesting that movie. But the original just had a special thing going on. It was one of the first times when we had seen a killer Santa, which was not something that people were used to. Nowadays, it's been done many, many times. It did have better acting than the original and much better effects, not to mention the actors in it. It had Donald Logue, had Jamie King, had Malcolm McDowell. But again, does it live up to the original? Not in my opinion. The original was a really inspired, really well told, really thought out movie. Versus this one, overall, I kind of have to say, was just another horror movie. Not a whole lot special about it. Even the fact that it's set in Christmas, this day and age, has been done. However, I did enjoy it. It was fun, and it was definitely better than Silent Night, Deadly Night Parts 3, 4, and 5. So if you are a fan of the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies, I'd go ahead and check out the remake that was done in 2012. There you have it. That's my movie review this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you'll get notifications for when I post the videos, and leave a comment. Tell me which of the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies was your favorite. Love you guys.